example 5, we're writing an equation. So for the first one, we're finding a possible pair of integer values for a and c so that the equation ax squared minus 4x plus c equals 0 has one real solution. Then write the equation. So let's write the discriminant. The discriminant is b squared minus 4ac. Now if it has one real solution, then it has to equal 0. So we need to substitute the values that are given. So looking at this equation here, we are only given b is negative 4. So let's plug that in. Negative 4 squared minus 4 times a times c equals 0. So then we solve. And then so we get 16 equals 4ac divided by 4. So we know that a times c has to equal 4 in order to make this true, to have one real solution, because that has to be 0 inside. So let's just think about some factors of 4. 4, we could have 1 times 4, and then 4 times 1, and then also 2 times 2. So there are several possibilities of what we can write. So let's write 1 times 4, 4 times 1, and 2 times 2. Or then we can also have negatives of that. But actually it gives us a sign, so let's keep the sign. So we could have 1 x squared minus 4x plus 4. We could have 4x squared minus 4x plus 1. And we also could have 2x squared minus 4x plus 2. So those are some possible equations that we could write. Let's try this other example. Find a possible pair of integer values for a and c so that the equation ax squared plus 6x plus c has two real solutions, and write the equation. So when we're looking at that, we're looking at b squared minus 4ac. Two real solutions means that has to be greater than or equal to 0, or greater than 0. So let's plug in what we know. B is 6. So we have 6 squared minus 4ac, and that has to be greater than 0. So this is 36 minus 4ac. And then let's add 4ac to both sides. So we get 36 is greater than 4ac divided by 4. So we get 4 goes into 36 9 times. So a times c has to be less than 9. So let's just choose 4, or not 4 times 2, but 2 times 4. 2 times 4 is 8, so that's definitely less than 9. And so let's make a equal 2 and c equals 4. So we could say this is 2x squared plus 6x plus 4 equals 0. Now let's go ahead and check this out to see if this is true. Let's plug it into the quadratic formula. X equals negative 6 plus or minus the square root 6 squared minus 4 times 2 times 4 all over 2 times 2. And so we want to see if we get two real solutions here. So we get x equals negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 4 is 32 and over 4. So notice the discriminant is going to be positive. Negative 6 plus or minus the square root of 4 over 4. And so when we know that it's greater than 0, we are going to have two solutions. So any of these work. So you just have to pick numbers that are less than 9, factors are less than 9. And so that was what works for two real solutions. So the key on these problems is that you have to really take a look at what it's asking for. So if it's asking for one real solution, then the discriminant has to equal 0. If it's looking for two real solutions, we're looking for setting up the discriminant as greater than 0. And then if it's two imaginary solutions, then you have to set the discriminant to less than 0.